Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Forsaken Council Open Mic, episode 26. I hope you're all having a good weekend and a good week. We've got a fair bit to talk about tonight. We've all had the preview server, which I know you guys have seen the videos and stuff on the page. There's been a lot of different videos and discussions about it, but myself and TSM, we were both in there. Was anyone else on the panel in the preview server?
I was.
I watched.
Okay, cool. Well, let's, I don't know, Mark, should we talk about the first preview server first? I guess that makes sense too.
Yeah, not a bad idea, mate, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Let's do an order, shall we?
Yeah, let's do an order. No. So the first preview server was, of course, the prizes. So let's maybe cover the prizes first. How do you feel about the new prizes and why? Ryan, I'll start with you because you're my far left.
I think they look very strong. It's good to see a blitzer fleet so that players don't automatically defend against, some sort of retribution or revenge, tank and remote targeting. It allows for different style in attacking, and so you need to shift your defense a little bit, and it's nice to just run in and kill stuff. They look pretty solid. I could never see the on-kill weapon, I guess, because they call it a death weapon, but that's wrong. I could never see that when you kill an enemy ship. But there were so many things happening. I just didn't know if it was there. But it looked good.
Mm-hmm. Okay, cool. Let's move on to Jeffrey. We've got a few Jeffreys and Georges tonight, haven't we? Yeah, Jeffrey, how did you find the bundle and specials and stuff? Let's move on to Jeffrey. Who has that?
Me.
Yeah, let's go,
sorry.
Jeffrey.
Yeah. No, I like a blitzing fleet, as Mark will say. I put my head down and charge. I think it's a good fleet. Mm-hmm. But I've seen a couple of videos where people have defended well against it. So, to me, it's still in the air whether it's a good fleet or not.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, okay. I mean, there's a lot of different mixed views, I think, on this as well. But I kind of get the feeling that a lot of people were leaning towards this whole being overpowered. How do you feel then, George?
I actually kind of thought it was a little bit overpowered. I did not have a problem getting into any base. I did not get a chance to get you because I saw you had the what do you call it in there?
The Man of War.
Yes, the Man of War, and I did not get a chance to do that. I did. Raken had me come into his a couple of times, and I got in both times. Mm-hmm. It goes back to old school driving. If you could go in and dummy out whatever was killing you with the first one, sneak in the next one, and go in next to what was giving you trouble and kill it with a suicide, you still had 3 ships to go in and kill everything.
Well, see, I know Raken, was it Raken's base that had like 16 ballistas?
Yes.
Yeah. See, when I hit it, it didn't have a guardian, so it was a little bit of a different. He forgot to put his guard in, but he assured me I was going to get it anyway. But
I mean, if you could drive like how in the old days you could take if you're going in with DNXs or something or some of the bigger fleets, you'd have one that you'd pull up next to the channel and sneak the other ones behind it, so that first one would take all the hits and you sneak the rest of the fleet in to kill everything. It's an old school rushing fleet that you could use. Mm-hmm. I don't know. I think it's a little bit overpowered. I think they should tone it down just a little bit.
Mm-hmm. Okay. That's a good insight. So, Imre. I always pronounce this long. It's meant to be Imre, but it says something else tonight. You're testing me tonight, aren't you? You're trying to catch me out. Imre, how did you find the new hull, or think of the new hull?
You didn't.
Well, silence is golden. Maybe that says it all. So, Mark, let's jump to you, buddy. How did you find it?
Yeah. Okay. So it's brought back what some people used to like, and that was point and click. Okay. So, however, if you introduce a new hull and it can't get into a base that hasn't been set up to counter that new base, then there's no point introducing a new hull. So the fact that it got in during the preview server, I'm not surprised in the slightest. And if it hadn't, it would have been absolutely a disaster. And they'd had to do something about it.
Yeah, I don't think there's any base that it wouldn't have got in without adjustments.
Yeah, exactly that. No, I know Ren was adjusting his base as he was going along, and we were sharing the stream, and I was not adjusting my base. I was adjusting the fleet. So we were doing it in two different ways. Ren managed to do quite well and defend against a few of them with just some minor tweaks. So it's defendable against, even if they leave it to the standard, the standard setup as it is now. The point is, what we haven't got, obviously, is anything to defend against that type of weapon system. Now, that will clearly come, because that's always the ping-pong yin-yang of, obviously, the way the BP works. So as it stands at the moment, yes, it is slightly overpowered. Is it a point-and-clicker? Yes, it is. Is it fast? Yes, it is. Is it running along the same lines as most of the other ships that we're getting at the moment? No, it's something different. It's something new. Mm-hmm. The only thing I'm a bit concerned about personally is the graphics. I found personally the graphics were so, let's just use the word glorious in their Technicolor, that you couldn't see the bloody ships. So you had no idea what damage was getting done to what ship, and there was no way to turn it off. It was just a glorious Technicolor flash of the biggest fireworks in the world, and actually I couldn't depict what damage was happening to what hull.
Throw in some crazy oil slicks as well, and it's just absolutely unreal. But
but
I mean,
but that's it. So that's it. So in general, okay, whilst it seems very overpowered and that sort of stuff, I don't think it would take too long, because there's going to be some corrosive defense coming. I can see it coming with one of the turret tops. We've already got it now, and it makes sense. We've already got it now for fleets, so chuck a couple of those on your defense fleets as well. And I think within 6 to 8 weeks, the hull will go the rest of the way that blitzers always do.
Mm-hmm. I think less than that.
So I think short-lived.
Dust off your chromium overlays.
Yeah, chromium overlay is the method to stop them, because obviously that gives the walls the defensive boosts to corrosive. But there's many other already. We already have the tech to stop them. Monster's in YouTube chat. Hi, Monster. How you doing? Sorry. So the blunderbuss is actually very effective against them. Many people that won them were kind of thinking, what are we going to need to build these? They're actually really effective. I put that on a level 7 turret and had the right transformer on it, and it worked very well. It did take a good chunk out of it before it died. So that's a great method. Obviously, the ballista we know, the Deadeye ballista. Hopefully, they're going to rotate that again in the Forsaken missions, because I don't have that one. We already have tons of gammas built. There's many weapons you can put on them that stop these. But another interesting point that people were talking about in prior to the preview was the fact that in the olden days we used to stop blitz fleets by putting one of those ships in our base. Did you have a chance to try that? Because I can tell you that it was a complete waste of time.
Yeah, they ran past it. It didn't get enough blast to get a stun effect. I tried it. Ren tried it as well. We did try. There are some other options. You could go light in your armor and get the Gore Saber to go in there. That could get a couple of stuns off, and that sort of helped a little bit, which allowed the ballistas to start firing, that sort of stuff. So the mechanism at the moment, obviously, we only had it sounds like a long time, but we only had 2 hours. When you sit down and study these things, like Monster used to, Gadget used to, and Sarah J Boy would do, clearly, the right top end 1% of the players, sort of stuff, they'll stop this thing dead. Absolutely.
Well, interestingly though, I don't know if you had a chance to do like an FVF of a Fury versus a Fury. Basically, it takes about 3 minutes to kill a Fury versus a Fury. It's a ridiculous amount of time. They're just sat there firing at each other. But what if you put something on a Fury that meant that Furies couldn't drive past it?
I've already got a plan for that.
Yeah, I've got a plan for that too. That's what I was gonna. This is a fault chain that I was having earlier. Is basically although using the new weapon on a Fury to stop Furies is ridiculously stupid, if you put a weapon on it like Piranha depth charges or something crazy like that, and put it in a position that they have to drive through it, then they've got a choice of either driving through it and getting killed, or stopping and waiting in its range for 2 minutes while the turrets kill it. So there's a very simple tactic to stopping this hole.
Yeah, well, that's my thought of it anyway. So,
sorry, I'm just rambling on here as well. I should be going across the panel. J-Boy, what did you think of the new stuff?
I never got to do it, mate. That's what I was saying before it started. I was too busy elsewhere. Mm-hmm. But I've watched a couple of videos of it, and I've had a couple of people already give me sarky remarks of I'm about to become a farm and stuff like that. And I said the same. It's just another blitz fleet, mate. 2 days tops, and I'll have that fleet stopped. Blitzers don't ever have a long lifespan, you know that.
Yeah, I mean,
they come fast, and like you were saying, getting one of them boats and adding other weapons to it, it's the same as what we used to do with the Threshers and Hellsharks, all stuff like that. You use that strong boat, and like Threshers and that couldn't stand rockets, so you'd get a strong boat and put rockets on. All you've got to do is find a weakness to this boat, put that on one of them new boats, and there you go. That's the Blitzer stopped, or at least 3/4 damage.
Yeah, I mean, obviously the problem with this hull is that 90,000 armor. That's an issue.
My problem is I don't like talking to Kickside, but I did send a ticket, really complaining that I wanted a well over the top fleet. So everybody can blame me for this one, because I said I've been wasting all my money, keep building crappy boats and things like that. Bring me something out that's going to smash my base without taking an hour to do it. I can go and smash other people and get rid of some of these cocky people who put videos on thinking they're the best now. I said, let's get back to battles, because as soon as people start flattening people again, the game's going to become alive again. You know, so this could be partly my fault, because I've demanded a well over the top fleet. So I'll take it.
It's official. Let's blame J-Boy.
Yep, blame me. I want to come back to being a farm, and I'm sick of all the little cowboys thinking they're the best, because basically you're on the top, so you're all going to get effed up.
So we're blaming J-Boy for this and his base in War Games.
Yeah, and his base in War Games.
That was easy.
Yeah. Well, let's move along. Sorry, go on, J-Boy.
Before you move along, you're going to be screwed if they take my base this time and put it in War Games for next, because my base is even stronger. Luckily, they was about a week out from when I did my last changes, so you got lucky, people.
I got a new base that's holding up pretty well. It is holding up pretty well at the moment. The guard I used in the video for the preview server, that was not actually my real guard. So
where you at, Liam?
Yeah. Where am I? I'm still in 400. I'm still in 400. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure
he's
you're
stealing my 91s. That's what he's doing.
Basically, TSM keeps the sector in orange for me, and then I just survive that way. I'll basically park next to TSM's lines. Sorry?
I said 400 it is next week then.
Yeah, so let me know which day you come in, because I haven't jumped in 2 weeks. So the day you land, I can jump out.
It's Tuesday, but because every now and then there's a raid on a Wednesday, finish on a Wednesday, we've now changed our jump days to a Wednesday, so it's always Wednesday.
Right. So wait till Wednesday. Just let the Alliance know that. Okay, so I'm not even sure I can pronounce this. Shingen?
Mate, you're brilliant at that.
Can I try Shingen?
Shingen. How did you find the raid, bud? The new content and stuff.
Here he goes. No, we've still got a muted mic. Is Imri back? Let's just see if Imri's back quickly.
Imri!
Come on, mate. Do a dialect. Come on.
Imri, you can do it. We believe in you.
Still no sound, mate.
Okay, do you know what? Let's go to Tito. Tito, how did you find the new stuff, my friend?
It reminds me a lot of the Hell Strike on Asteroids, to be honest. And I don't know, those Blitz fleets don't last that long, so I want to see first how long it takes to build it, to see if it's worth to build it or not.
And interestingly as well, another sting in this fleet, in this ship's life is there's a special coming out in the Forsaken missions that's called a splash damage dampener or something like that. And I think that that's going to be a key element in prevention of this hull. I think. Anyway, yeah. So no, I agree. It's a short shelf life, and I think Kicks are already planning specials to make that short. So let's okay. How did you find the new content, buddy?
Well, as you guys know, I'm not real impressed with the Forsaken technology as far as the hulls go. But I'm going to have to see what the repair time on it and what the build time on it is. It's of course going to be a short life fleet. I may give it a shot for a bit, but I'm not impressed with the whole cycle of this entire raid. Let's just put it that way.
Well, I mean, I did have Raken did say to me a week or so ago that they had no plans on jumping the scale in terms of the build time and the repair time. They were kind of looking to keep it in line with what we've seen previously from the Garrison hulls, which is sort of an under 10-day build and fairly decent repair time. Whether that stays the same or not, I mean, that wasn't set in stone. That was just as far as he was aware, it was going to stay in line. Not to directly quote him, but subject to change, I guess. So with a little bit of luck, it won't be a ridiculous build time, is what I mean. And obviously, Reavers don't have that 150% repair modifier anymore, so hopefully it's not going to be too bad. Because Blitz fleets are famously expensive, as we know from the past.
On all angles, yeah. Go on, Emery, give it a go. Go on, mate.
Can you guys hear me now?
Yeah!
Finally.
Go, mate, go on. It's your moment.
Sorry, Emery, you missed your spot. So.
Shut up, Liam. Come on, let him go. Go.
Let him mute me again, okay?
So, Imre, how did you find the new hull and weapon and stuff? What's your opinions of it at first look?
Well, first look seems like it's way too shiny to see what's going on, so it's extremely difficult to drive. My first idea was that maybe it would be a good idea to build one or two and use it as a spotter from close by to trigger the vendettas, but we'll play with that idea when I have it and see some more YouTube videos.
Okay. So guys, I mean, I guess we've all kind of mainly talked about the hull, but is there any opinions on the weapon and the special? Does anyone want to highlight them at all, or any insight into them?
I didn't use the special.
You didn't?
No, I loaded up on the weapon and then I used the barrels.
Okay. Nice.
So to get at the go on. Expand on
that. Well, I just used it to get the extra multi-shot on it.
Yeah.
I really wasn't trying to use it as a the Hell Strikes were ones where you just stacked and ran to the end of the channel. This one, if you staggered the fleet, it worked out rather well. I mean, I just staggered and went for most bases. The ones that actually had adjusted for it is when you had to drive a little bit differently to occupy what was killing you. Mm-hmm. I essentially ignored most all of the guard fleets just to get to the back island. I wanted the base dead and the hell with the fleet.
Yeah, I was giving them like a 2-second gap, and staggering them in
Yeah,
and it worked out. I find that worked a lot better than stacking.
Yes.
Interestingly, I did see a few players. Well, in fact, I didn't see really many players at all, but I know Raken and there was someone else that was actually running. I think they were running 2 of these holes and then running some vendettas behind, kind of using it as a front-running tank, which, with that kind of armor value and defensive resistance, is a pretty good idea, I guess. As a spotter and a tank for vendettas, it's probably going to work out really well.
I tried that. I had much more fun and better success running 5 of them rather than having them spot.
Mm-hmm.
That's how I started out. I was using 2 of those and 3 vendettas, and I mean I got into a bunch of bases, just not nearly as easily as on all 5 fleet.
Mm-hmm. Well, see, I think we're going to get into the scenario where you're going to have, say, 2 vendettas, a retribution, a revenge, and a fury, and you're going to say, right, well, hang on a minute, there's the gamma, so I'm going to send.
Do you know exactly? Yeah, exactly. My exact thing. Hang on a minute. You go. It's just like you do with your turrets. Oh yeah, that's a scatter. Right, I'm going to send. Right, that's this. I'm going to send this forward. It's just another piece of the toolbox.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
It's a toolbox issue, and we've now got everyone very cleverly. Or not cleverly, but we all know that each one of the holes has got a resistance, and each one of the holes has got a weakness. So you just bring in, whether you want to leave 2 or 3 outside as your mortar holes at the moment, and bring in 1 or 2, or leave 2 outside and bring 3 different holes in. You can use it and then pick things off and try and make that base hit cheaper and cheaper.
So, and interestingly, Ren's just put in the YouTube chat there. Hi Ren, sorry, there's 10 of us tonight, so Ren can't make it in, but he is in the YouTube chat. Ren said also to bear in mind, guys, which was something we overlooked, the Fury does give a reload buff of 75% to the other holes.
Yeah, it's got an unusual. It's not exactly an aura stuff, but don't forget that's the other fusion holes as well. So as long as you keep within a certain distance, even if you do stagger, they do benefit. But you've got to stay within a certain distance.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I mean, I think it definitely has potential as in a mixed fleet. I mean, right now, what you're going to see is people building full fleets of Furies, like George said, because no one's ready for them. And then in a few weeks' time, when people start altering their bases, then strategy's going to come in. Then players are going to start thinking, and they're going to start. You're probably going to start seeing vendettas mixed with Furies and whatnot. But for the immediate future, expect a couple of weeks of getting your base blasted by these, because that's what's going to be the initial post raid PvP, I think.
And at the end of the day, suck it up, buttercup, because that's what the corners do, and that's what they get their kicks out of, and that's what keeps the game alive. So you can whinge and bitch about it as much as you like. I won't be doing that because I don't believe in coining straight off fleets. I'll wait. I'll build one or two, and I'll mix it in with my mortars and that sort of stuff. And when I get flattened in between, I'll press that special button, and I'll just love it and like it and put up with it.
Repair.
I'm with you on that, man. No way. I can't believe people would coin.
I mean,
I'll spend my coins defending my base. That's what I'll do. I'll do it that way because that'd be more fun for everybody.
Let me call my nerves.
Yeah, Liam, how's your ghost crawler, man?
It's good, man. I need to get that bad boy ranked. I need to get it ranked. I refit it in the previous server and put like a raidy kind of build on it, and I reckon I could get the 100 down to a fairly cheap price using the grease monkeys and the half repair time. But I don't know if it's more viable than Hellrace. But yeah, the ghost crawler can do the elite targets. That's for sure. Just the damage you take damage from the splash explosion on the ships, and that's it.
Yep.
Which I'm sure you've seen.
We've got one more mic to check quickly. Go for it again, Liam. Go on.
Mic check.
One more mic to check.
Oh, you want me to
introduce?
Right. Xing again.
Very funny.
I don't know. I'm not great with questions, alright?
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yes, mate.
I'm dying.
How's it going? Firstly, how do you pronounce it? Because then I can get it right. I'm more of a visual guy. I hear things and then sound guy,
It's like your chin. You should say chin chin. Chin chin.
Chin shin.
That's it. Chin chin.
Chin shin.
That's it.
Really?
My man. See, you wouldn't have got that, Mark.
Hey, you're the lead.
Now passing over to TSM.
Go on, buddy. Tell us what your experience is. Or what do you feel of it so far? Is it similar to everybody else? Have you got anything dynamic you think you can pull out that's different?
You see, I didn't see the previews, and I didn't see any videos so far.
Oh, okay. So nothing fresh just as yet.
No, I have to listen to you guys on this one.
Okay. Well, what's your thoughts then on Blitz fleets in general?
Well, I like them because I enjoy hitting.
Then this is going to be perfect for you, isn't it?
Perfect, and I don't mind coining them too.
Oh, well, there we go then. There you go. A friend of Liam straight away.
What's happening there? What's happening there, Ash? What's happening there, Shin Shin?
He's going to coin him and come and smash your base, mate, straight away.
Yeah, he's helping run the game for free for us.
My man. I'm going to change my name to Xing Ten. And then you got to try and find me. Like, my man.
We'll talk about base names in a minute.
Yeah, Lucy's changed her base name. She's no longer the face, but...
We're going to do that at the end, I thought.
Alright, okay. Okay, guys, so, well, Mark, is there anything else we should cover on this? Anything else anyone wants to cover on this, on the first preview server from Thursday? New hull, new special, new weapon. Anything we've missed, guys?
So the only thing I thought is the hydroxide injector. Yeah, great. Whilst it's giving you 25% corrosive bonus, you're getting a multi-shot +1. So consider that with the, as already been mentioned, consider is it better then to look at getting additional multi-shots and not going for corrosive benefit. Bearing in mind the new hydroxide injector is 19% weapon weight. Okay, so there's a consideration. You must think about that when you're doing your build. Which one of them is going to be the better payoff? So just consider that. And then the weapon itself, which I really, really like, and this is one of my favourite things about weapons, it gives you armour points of 500 every weapon you add on, and each weapon only weighs, as it stands at the moment, it's about 300 and something, isn't it? Is it 3,400 something? 3,400 something like that, or 340, tons. It's not a lot. So you can stack them up, and you're getting an awful lot of armor points for nothing, which I like. That's a bonus as far as I'm concerned.
So with the hydroxide injector, if you just get an additional +1 multi-shot, like if you use the barrel system, it's going to be a little worse by about 180 damage per weapon or something like that. But if you have 2 more multi-shots, the multi-shot +3 will be better.
Yeah.
There's nothing to do that yet, I don't think. I think it's all +2.
So which one's better?
Hydroxide injector But unless you can get something with multi-shot +3 in its place, then multi-shot +3 or better is going to be better than the hydroxide injector.
Okay, Dickie.
That's what I get for going with my gut.
Yeah.
Hopefully, they're not just going to release something that is strictly worse than something we already have. Hopefully.
Yeah, you can never tell. But yeah, so the new special, as Ren's saying in the chat there, is better than Barrel System 3 at the moment, the new one, simply because it's +1, but it's also 25% bonus on the corrosive, so it's,
so when you do the math, it probably is fairly...
Yeah, and there you go, Brian, the brain worked it out straight away, so that's why we have him.
Yes, yep, okay. And in terms of the weapon itself, is everyone happy with the stats of the weapon? You didn't consider it to be too powerful or underpowered?
No, it's pretty good, pretty well balanced.
For a blitz fleet, it's perfect. Almost.
Yep. And did you guys try like the specials that increase projectile speed and splash and whatnot? Did you guys run with them or?
No.
No.
I built for speed.
Yeah, I just speed the hull up and made sure it turned fast enough so it could just run through as fast as quick as possible.
Yep.
There's a thing about 100% in bases, which will probably not happen with this fleet, because you want to be out and not sunk because of repair times.
It's expensive. Yeah. This is one of those, this guy's been annoying me for ages, I'm going to go and get him back moments, isn't it? And then you go, right, that's short-lived, in 3 weeks' time it's going to be rubbish, but for the moment I feel great.
Yeah, for those $500 spent, I'm a champion for today.
And Will Harbin's got a new Corvette.
It's like thrashing your Ducati and taking it in for a repair and finding out the price of thrashing it.
Yeah. Without a doubt.
Well, all I can say is, get your Man of Wars built, guys, because.
I'm not going to comment.
No, neither.
I'm not going to build a Man of War. I thought it'd be fun to test it out in the preview server because they're ballistically weak. I thought it was the thing to test. I thought it was an interesting test to make.
You know what, mate? I think the Man of War's fucking language.
It's just good, isn't it?
There goes undercoins. I think the Man of War's great, mate. I've not built one, but Panda actually built one.
Did he?
Yeah, he built one, and I'll tell you what, mate, it's amazing on base bricks.
I can see that.
I think there's a couple of videos of RF4 coming up that he's doing, and he sticks it to the side, and you can target it to the nearest building, and it'll smother the whole front channel. So when you do that, you chuck a prep fleet in and run it right the way down the base. It's amazing.
Well, I noticed that on Liam's because basically that fleet that came in attacking you with those oil slicks, your things was absolutely ballistically quick and nothing was touching them. It was just impossible to get hold of the damn ships. It was crazy.
I kept saying to him what you're doing prepping was, because I see him moving up and up and up and flattening all these bases. He starts me Man of War, mate, look. And I watched him do it and I went, that's pretty damn good.
Yeah, there might be a reason to build the big ship. Yeah, I mean I just it's difficult to justify it off the back of coining a Ghost Crawler, but I'm sure I will get it done.
Can you imagine having 4 of these and then the Man of War really light at the front, just sitting on the outside, so the oil slick hits,
so they can run.
Just beast through and absolutely annihilate everything, and just get to the open.
You might have a weight problem.
Well, just don't put nothing on the Man of War. It doesn't start getting heavy, does it, until you start putting armour and stuff. So just put some defensive stuff on it.
Yeah, you only need the body on there, then you have one fuddle tank. Just chuck it out you got.
I say Liam coins it and tests it for us.
Yeah, okay.
Can do that.
I can see if I can get Panda on here one night if you want. He can explain how he does it with all of his, because like I said, he's already got it and he's been using it a while now. So
ask Panda to make a video as well. I'd like to see it myself because
I think there is going to be a video, or there is a couple of videos already going on.
If he makes a private one or whatever, I'd love to see it. I'd love to see it in action.
Hey, public, not private. We don't do public. We're public on here.
Well, public. But what I mean is, I want to see it because I want to justify to myself that if I'm going to build this, and I need to,
there's no self on this show, mate.
He wants to coin it.
I need some justification. I need something to say. Look,
come on,
Lucy. This is why.
This is why I'm coining it.
This is why your wedding dress is now gone down by 200 quid.
Yeah.
It will really make me happy.
Yeah, right.
What do you mean you need a new dress? What are you talking about?
Come on, then. We're halfway through. Let's go on to raid target, shall we?
Definitely. Okay. Well, TSM, why don't you lead the way on the raid target since I led the way on the first one? That way we're splitting it up. How about that, bud?
Oh, okay, right. Okay, so has anybody else here actually managed to get in for a start?
I did.
You did? Oh, that's good news. Okay. Anybody else?
How about Chintz again?
I did not get it.
Okay.
I want to hear what it's going to be by the end of the show.
I did watch most of your stream there, Mark.
Yeah.
I watched it as well when I was upset.
Yeah. I'll come to what my thoughts are in a minute and that sort of stuff. But basically, I know George, you got in, mate, didn't you? And I've read your blog for today as well, mate. So you take the lead on this one. Let's have your thoughts first.
Okay. Do you guys want to hit one target at a time, or do you want to do the whole overview?
Try it in sets. You know, in sets. Go for the C set. You know, the 30s. Then think about the
I skipped the C sets because I didn't want to spend time building specters and stuff to test it. I did do the B sets with both the Hellwraiths and the Tiger Sharks, and they were actually pretty well balanced. You could cruise through it with one single Hellwraith and not take too much time. They're not that bad. I'm assuming that it's going to be very low point wise, given the disparity between that and the A sets and the S target.
Yeah, Rooster confirmed they haven't set the target levels yet, because obviously it's about time management as well. So it's about points versus time, not necessarily points versus damage to them.
I think it's time versus coin.
Same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So okay. So on to the B sets then. What's your thought?
The B sets were okay. Well, that was the B set you mean the A sets?
Yeah, sorry, it's the A set. So the 70s and that sort of stuff. I hit a 73 and a 77.
The A sets are where I saw the difference in time versus coin, or damage versus time. If you did it with a single Hellwraith, you could get it down to a little bit over a half-hour damage, but it took you forever. It took you like 10 minutes or more per target, whereas I could cruise through a 75 in 3 minutes, less than 3 minutes, taking 3-4 times the damage.
Yeah, and then that was my concern, and that's why I put in a survey afterwards. Whilst I understand, and I used a single Tiger, I used the Phantom Tiger in my stream with a few Charon Torps on it, and then a couple of scatterguns, so that they actually kill off the bugs. And I managed to get it to just over half an hour as well. But it was each target takes an hour. It takes 10 minutes, and it took me the 10 minutes. Well, that's a long time.
Yeah, and if you're talking about three targets per set, and then driving around and repairing and all that, you're talking 40, 50, 60 minutes just for a 3-set A set, and that's a grind. We're talking about the top tier, level being a grind.
Yeah, and I don't think you can speed it up either. There's no way to do it, because you've got to wait for those cavitation pools to fall, and then you've got to work out your route.
Yep,
so you can't enhance the speed of it any faster.
Yeah, Robot did give us the timing on the cav fields. I don't know if anyone caught it. I actually have the list.
Okay, is it on your blog? Is it, or did you add that to your blog?
It is not. It is not, but I actually can add it after this.
Yeah, if you could, because then we'll put a link to you've got your link to your blog up, so we'll do that.
Yeah.
If you wouldn't mind, if that's all right with you, buddy.
Yeah, no, that's fine. Now the one thing is I did speed it up a little bit by adding a. This is where I hate blanking on specials. The cryo battery. I added the cryo battery to get rid of the fire fields, which I know a lot of people think is weird, but it saved me a little bit of time in each target because I didn't have to wait for the fire fields to leave. Because if you drive through those fire fields, they really hurt your
the most
fleet.
Yeah.
Yes,
I think that's worse than tripping that's worse than tripping one of the cavitation fields and actually taking a few rounds. I thought.
Oh yeah, because it does proportionally. The damage proportionally is huge. I think Kixeye did a very good job of balancing if you got hit by a cav field. On the blog, I actually have me in a 51 where everything went wrong. A cav field landed on me. I tripped 2 of them. But they did a really good job of balancing you not completely dying had that happened. So I don't know. I don't know that I can justify running 3 in either the A or the B set. You just take too much damage for what you're doing.
Okay, what do you think about the S target?
Man, I think I have a screenshot somewhere. It actually go on the thing, and I tell Robot, I go, nope, 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 hell, nope.
That was basically my summary as well.
I mean, it had magical psychedelic floating mortars that stayed in the air until you surfaced, and then
no
bam.
worse than that. You had magical psychedelic mortars that went off the side of the screen, and you thought, oh
And then
yeah,
hit you.
thank you. And then all of a sudden, when you rose, they come in from the side of the screen, and they absolutely annihilated you.
Yeah, I actually the second I think there's a video of me and on that blog where I actually go in, hit a target, and then I run to the very edge of the screen, hoping to just outrun the things or have them not activate or something, and I still get nailed once I come up.
Okay. Yeah, that's about my summary as well, to be honest. So, what the hell? Did you get in, mate, as well, didn't you?
No, I didn't get in. I watched your entire stream.
Oh, you were watching the stream, mate. Well, what was your feelings? I mean, it's different when you're doing a stream to somebody receiving it. So go on. What did you feel?
I'm totally discouraged by this entire raid cycle. I hate to beat sound and be negative, but with the way they've got it set up right now with the S targets and the A targets, you know, the last raid was boring. This one is going to be horrible. And for those that don't coin, I don't see it as even being really doable and profitable for them.
Yeah, that's my concern. I got a funny thing that, yeah, I think we're going to be the same. People abstending doing the S sets and going down a level, which means there's going to be a reduction in the number of A sets available to everybody. I think that's where we're going to be again.
I totally agree. And, you know, I'm typically one of those guys that's the 200 million in a raid and prep for the entire alliance. But I don't see that being even doable this raid.
Yeah, I think you're right. And one thing that Ren's just reminded me as well, for some reason, if you watched the stream, did you notice, for some reason, when I was getting close to cav fields, when I actually touching them, I was seen a couple of times, and I have no reason why not. My stealth was over 100, and I was still seen. Just for some bizarre reason, I didn't come up. I made sure all the subs were raising at the same time. But as those missiles were sort of sitting over the top of me, or I was getting close, twice it happened in one of the 100s. It was really weird, really weird.
Yeah, it seemed like your lagging ship was getting spotted somehow, and I don't understand because you were stacked when you were driving. Because it was throwing off your dive times at the same time.
Yeah. Do you know, it's an interesting thing. I mean, and that's the comparison, what we've been saying already. You compare an S-set target, okay, and for this, and I know it's preview and they've got to do some adjustments, and I know there are some adjustments coming because that's already been discussed because J-Boy mentioned it. And the S-type target, even for the latest one that they did, when they knew that everybody had already ranked all theirs, they had the Zoe's one in front of it, and they had a 5 then all scored as I did. Even at the start of this raid set, and this is the very first one, and it's going to go right to the end of the year, we're already taking more damage. Loads more damage, and I've got a full set of subs ready to go in there, but I daren't take in a full set of subs because every time those missiles come up, or every time one of those ships blows up, I'm going to take a crap load of damage right across the whole fleet.
Yep.
I am. Do you know this whole concept of using one sub, and it's cheaper. It's cheaper to use one sub in almost every scenario than it is to use 4 because when the ship blows up, it doesn't damage your 4; it just damages 1. Correct. I mean that's. For me, in my mindset, that's counterproductive for the game.
Yeah,
I totally agree.
That's the problem with
saves
blanket damage, isn't it?
Yeah, it does save you a lot of time, but on the flip side, you're taking a disproportionate amount of damage.
Well, I've just rebuilt my sub now. It's going to take me 2 days to make an adjustment. It's now on our Facebook site. Sorry, not on our it's on our Facebook site, but it's also on our the forsakencouncil.co.uk. Okay, my new build is up there, and it's built with this raid in mind, as is Ren's as well. So if you want to have a look at your Hell Raves, my adjustment from my previous one, it's 2 days. There's enough tokens between now and the raid start, or if you want to build it in slow time, it can be done if you follow my lead previously. I've now upped my speed to 70, and I've upped my armor, and I've increased my detection reduced my detection. So I've made some adjustments, but they're very simple ones. And simply because I think I can get round the whole things much faster, and also I think I can probably knock off 2 of those missile volleys. And if I can get rid of 2 missile volleys, then obviously I'm taking a lot less damage. And my build is going to come under already 30. It's going to come under in raid time. It's 59 minutes on the nail. So there you go. It's not it's not going to obviously go over time. So it's four coins with a monkey crew, grease monkey crew.
If I can throw something in there for all you alliance leaders, remember before this raid starts, I don't know if you've thought of it, but move some of your guys over into the navigators and pick up that 20% turn bonus. Well, I know we don't use it most of the time, but that'll be important during the raid.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it's kind of also, in the previous server we've got no opportunity to test out road crews, so, and I think they're gonna prove a crucial element in the live play. I know it's percentages, but it's still, I mean, the critical hit chance, the boost in speed, whatever it is, I mean, it's still going to play a big part on how the fleet operates. And in the previous server, we do not have any opportunity to test that, so it's worth noting that as well. Mm-hmm. Obviously, save up your crypt keepers, guys.
Okay. Has anybody else seen any streams or any videos, that sort of stuff, or have their thoughts on the targets? Anything that you've got any fresh? I mean, clearly, I was hitting from Kudas down to the 30s. Obviously, myself and Ren, we were doing them. We used Spectra set. We used obviously the Nighthawks. We went up then to a set of Banshees. We used a set of Tigers, and then a single Tiger first, and then a set of 3 Tigers. I didn't dare to put in 5, and then we used the Hellwraith set. And I almost got to use my Ghost Crawler, but I didn't quite because I ran out of time. So, but has anybody got anything that I didn't dare try a surface fleet, obviously. Has anybody seen any other videos they want to talk about or discuss quickly?
I actually.
Sorry, go on, George.
I was just going to say I did try a surface fleet, and I actually did not do that bad. The problem was that the amount of damage it took was not even worth trying on the real raid.
Mm. Well, I did try a mixture of different fleets, not as many as TSM. For anyone that didn't catch TSM's stream, make sure you watch it, because TSM pretty much tested every single sub-fleet in most of the targets in there. So even if you don't have all the fleets available, it's certainly worth looking at, so you'll know what fleet's going to be viable for you in this raid, and what maybe is going to be your sweet spot to grind.
And in that test, I mean, I deliberately ran into some fire pools to see what the damage was. I deliberately ran over some cavs. I made sure we got hit by some of the, So when people were making mistakes, we let the mistakes happen on some of it as well. Mm-hmm. So there was a few areas where we went, do you know what? Let's go and get now one of those Reaver hulls to come and hit us, and let's see how much damage. And I was actually quite surprised. And this is one thing I will say that's quite decent. Remember going back a month and a half ago when they said those Reaver targets shouldn't actually just annihilate you within a few seconds? Well, and that didn't happen in any of the targets with the right level subs. So when I went in with Kudas first, I was spotted twice, and I survived both encounters. And I managed to dive back down again. So that, fair dues, that was correct. But I still think the blast effect of a dying ship is still too much. And if they could just do something about that, then I think the raid is going to be solid.
Well, do you know what? Let me put something crazy out there, right? This is, I think, a concept of being able to build one ship and get less damage than being able to build 4 is negative and counterproductive to the game, and it encourages. I guess it's not good for Kickstarter, but good for us. Maybe it's right in saying that, because it means that we don't need to build 5 subs. We can just build a couple, and Kickstarter lose money that way. But would it make more sense, right? And this is a bit out there, but how about they added a special similar to the Centurion, where it has a splash damage reduction. So basically, to get full use of it, you'd need 4 ships together. Let's just say they all had 5% splash damage reduction, and when stacked, it would go up to a high enough level that you would take less damage with 4 ships than you would with 1.
I actually.
You mean, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I actually suggested that in the blog today, that they do something with an inverse.
I suggested that to Raken on Thursday or Friday. Sorry.
He should have listened. I mean, because if you have an inverse proportion on how many subs you use as compared to how much damage you take from that explosion, it would actually make it better if you had 4 or 5, well, 4 or 3 hulls as opposed to just one.
Mm-hmm.
Well, let me ask you this. We've said nothing positive. What is the positives about this raid? Does anybody have any?
There is none.
I'm fearful of this raid. I mean, we've honestly, if you look back, we've had a pretty decent year overall, but from Kick's Eye. We had some pretty good raids. I mean, there are raids that even knowing that I wasn't going to do well, I was looking forward to it because they were actually, okay raids. I'm leery of this raid. I'm not looking forward to it. I think I'm going to be burnt out after the first day.
Same here.
Yeah, me and Mark were talking earlier about the disproportion of the damage that you get from the S targets. I mean, last raid you needed 2.5, Apollo fleets to kill the S target, the S sets, which that's what they wanted to go to. That's fine. We're going to have to accept it or not. But you had a total of, I think, 6 hours of damage for an Apollo fleet, where now you have 10 to 13 hours on the sub fleet. So it's not the same damage. You're not paying the same coin to get the same bonus. You know what I mean?
Exactly. And what do we tell our players in our alliances? As far as trying to be positive about the game and going forward. How do we guide them at this point? That's my problem with Kick's Eye.
Well, there was one time where we boycotted a raid, and it worked well.
Did you say boycott?
I don't know that we boycotted it. I think people just didn't want to do it. It would just, you're talking about the Scourge. I mean, no one had fun with that. I enjoyed it. I loved that raid.
My thought is the Scourge is coming back quite soon, probably after Christmas, and I got a funny feeling.
I got a funny feeling that too.
I think the Hellwraith may come into its own then, as well.
Nice.
I think it will, because when I've been hitting these TLCs at the moment, the Hellwraith is doing amazing. I have to say.
The thing is, though, with holes like the Retribution and whatnot, I mean, Scourges are going to need to come back with serious firepower to be able to challenge the tech we have now.
Right.
Or something about you can't take a surface fleet. I don't know. I don't know what they're going to do, but it's coming. We know that. We've had a hint that Scourge is on its way back. I wouldn't be surprised if it isn't the next raid set, at all.
Well, wouldn't Scourge would be skirmish target, would it not?
Yeah, but maybe not. Yeah, that's a fair point, actually, because it shouldn't be, should it?
Well, they can just do what they do with FM targets or the last raid targets, where they jacket the resistances really high except for 1 or 2 specific damage types. So the radioactive from your Retribution won't work. You can only use like concussives and retargetable missiles. Let's say your typical options. That's what they do.
Right, but I mean, from just going from what Raken has said, September to December is going to be the skirmish, January to April is going to be siege, and then it's garrison after that.
Yeah,
where would they fit the Scourge?
It's important though to think on this matter, and Ren's actually just said something there in the YouTube chat, which is, they might not, the Scourge may not come back as subs.
No, exactly. I was thinking the same thing.
They could come out and say, the Forsaken destroyed our skirmishing targets, so we've decided to, and it's going to be something like this, and they maybe are going to run different types of targets.
There's room left on the panel. Ren could get in.
No, he's busy at the moment, mate, so he can't. He's multitasking at the moment, which is hard for a man at the best of times.
Very hard.
Yeah, totally agree. But I looked at... Go on, mate.
No, sorry, buddy. You go on.
I looked at the coins for the raids, and I looked at how Mark was doing, and then I worked out the price of the raid. If you're going to do the S sets, you're not going to get a change out of 600-700 coins, which I found was quite nasty.
Gentlemen, correct me if I'm wrong, but we got the sub campaign coming next week with the Phantom Hell raid at the top.
No, Phantom Hellwraith's been pulled, and they're saying that it may not ever be put. We may not ever see it now.
That's bad news then.
Yeah, if you look at there's a release on the forums and that sort of stuff, and basically said yes. So that, I mean, we can talk about it now. It's 10 minutes to go. So that Phantom TLC is coming out on the 7th. We know which are the routine subs. So there's going to be the Cuda there, the Spectre, the obviously the Nighthawk, and obviously the we're going to get back the Phantom Tiger. But those are the only Phantoms that are coming. Okay, so it's so we've got
to win.
So for me then, and I've spoken to Liam about this, I'm going to get the Phantom Cuda and I'm going to stick it blank, basically in front of my Hell Wraiths, because it'll be the cheapest one to fix. And I'll just probably put a one of those speed skimmers that you, I can't remember what it's called, but the one that makes you speed across the water. What's it called?
Streamline.
Streamline Canyon. Streamline Canyon. That's it. Cheeto, well, mate. So I'm going to slap that on it and put nothing else, and I'll just let it die. Just because then I can lead the fleet out and let it do its own thing. And I'll just leave it there, dead, so the ship can do what it likes.
You don't have to worry about being sniped and stuff, basically.
And that's the only reason, just so it's not getting sniped. Just because it'll be the cheapest repair, and an empty hull, we all know that an empty hull, particularly a Cuda, it takes virtually nothing to fix it. It's a few minutes. So I'm prepared to have those few minutes just so I can have another set of subs on the sea that no one can see. The cheapest way possible,
And talking about coins and S targets, how much do you think they are going to pay those S targets? Because if we are looking normally for that amount, 1 million, 1.5 million per coin we spend, and they expect us to lose 2 fleets and to nearly a half, how much do you spend? How much they are going to pay us for one of those S targets? I was wondering.
Well, that's the thing, and that's what I was saying to you. That's the seat time versus the return in points, isn't it? Because let's look at all the past raids, and let's be honest. I mean, I don't have monsters still in there, but on average, you could get within the hour, as he used to say, you could quite easily get 15 million within an hour to hour and a half. For a top level player with a top level fleet, and if we're dragging it down to getting, say, 5 to 10 million in the same sort of time, then that's a fail.
Yeah.
With an additional cost too. That's the other catch. I mean, these S targets are going to take a lot of time to run and more coin than even last raid, and that I wasn't that happy last raid paying those coins to do the S targets.
No, me either. I was just very fortunate that I had the right crew, and I also had the right lead ship that I built.
Same.
I did very well on that. Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say. I mean, I remember leading up to that raid, everyone sort of laughed and cursed at me for building the Zoe's Apollo, and everyone said it was the stupidest thing I'd ever done. But then that raid, it proved to be
perfect.
So, it was lucky, very lucky.
Yeah, I did it without. I did it without the Zoes.
Did you?
Yeah.
I coined the finish of my Zoe right at the beginning of that raid, and I was able to get the S sets done, fairly cheaply.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good ad actually. Ren's just said in the chat, and I noticed that as well. So I was trying to do obviously one of the TLCs to someone. I was trying to get either a bullseye brigade, or I was trying to get the other. What's the other special? Is it the DOS? No, it's not the DOS, is it? It is the DOS, isn't it?
Yeah.
I had to roll 2.5 million uranium. 2.5 million uranium to get one crew. That's
I hate
ridiculous.
to blow this out of the water, but I've started rolling past Grease Monkey crews.
Well, that's the question. I mean, that was Tito's Ren's question there. What's the drop rate at the moment for other people? Are you noticing? I've only rolled one Grease Monkey in the last 2 weeks, and I normally roll a whole tank full of every other day.
So do I.
I just spent 500, so nearly 2 times the full uranium I have with the Warehouse 13, and I got each time one.
Just one.
Just one, but I nearly spent the whole 260 something.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
I've rolled about.
83.
I've rolled about 3 or 4 million in the last week or two, and I've gotten 2 Grease Monkeys and 3 Remote Raiders actually, which I've been keeping.
Oh yeah, that's a good idea. Yeah. Okay, so everyone's getting about the same. So the statistics about the same then, but I think the ratio. I don't know. We can put tinfoil hats on, and the ratio seems to be less.
Yeah,
I can't seem to roll anything but Grease Monkeys. No, I'm throwing them away at the moment. I'm trying to get other crews.
So am I.
I'm not.
Renzo said there he spent 2 million this week, give or take, and he's not had a single grease monkey.
Not
You know what I was rolling pretty frequently that I have not been able to roll since the raid is the DOS crew.
So here, same here.
Spooky that, because they're not worth anything anymore.
Oh, they're great for hitting bases.
Yeah, but not going to help you in the raid, are they? And you know, I save up as many raid points as I can during the month ready for the raid.
If the raid is this crappy, I may be hitting bases instead of hitting targets.
That's what happened in the Scourge.
I watch your guys' videos, and if the A set and S set damage is so high, and there's so much unavoidable damage, whether it be plasma or, what was it, psychedelic mortar rockets.
My psychedelic mortars, yeah.
Do you know the Ghost Caller, right, in the level 100s, built correctly, has enough health to kill the level 101 hit, right?
Oh, I did it easy.
Yeah.
With the 42 coin repair.
Someone said to me when I was playing with it, someone said to me that did you test this, TSM? That when if you deep dive, as you take your last volley to kill the ship, and then deep dive before it explodes,
doesn't work.
Would it still damage you?
Yeah, it does.
Yes.
Right. Well,
it
then,
does.
just forget what I was going to say then.
Yeah, no, I did test that, and to be honest, I did that a little bit before we were allowed to go live on the stream, apart from Liam. And I'll put out a video. I wasn't going to include. I mean, I was sort of going to do the Ghost Caller hits on an A set. On an S target right at the very, very end of our 2-hour stream. But to be honest, because I tested so much, I those that watched to the end, you mad fools, I just literally got into the target and the rate it finished. It stopped, and the Ghost Caller just went off on its own, just into its own death, basically. But I managed to get one before we streamed, and I'll put that video together tomorrow and I'll put it up. But I managed to get the whole thing done with a pretty rubbishy build, to be honest. It wasn't specifically for the raid, and I did it for 16 hours damage, 33 coins, and then you halve that, and then you put a grease monkey again. So bear that in mind that obviously it needed some adjustments on its armor.
8 coins.
So yeah, that's what it would be for a full one. So depending on what the price, the payout of that target is, that still could be my best avenue. I don't know yet.
But for it to be an avenue for me, I would need to refit and rank before the raid. And I tell you what, ranking a Ghost Caller is.
Oh yeah, not this raid. I won't be able to do it this raid because I've got no rank on my ship. I've only just got the damn thing. I don't coin any of that sort of stuff. There's no way I'm doing that.
He's still waxing.
I would like to say to Kickseye though, you know, I try to be an advocate for the game and to be totally positive about the game, and I also try to teach my guys the mechanics rather than just, you know, strategy, how to build it. And when I have to explain to newer players that there's no way you can defend against this and there's no way you can defend against that, they really get frustrated, and my lower guys just say, well, I'm not going to do that because I don't have, you know, I can't win.
This is the absolute epitome of there's no such thing as a free lunch.
Well, you know, here's the thing that I actually talked about this on another show, was that there's a psychological aspect to this that, right. You know, in most games, you know, you kind of know you're going to take damage, but it's not something like, I mean, do you remember when they started us in the middle of the pitched battle between the Draconians and the Reavers? I mean, you knew you were getting hit. Everyone hated it. Everyone hated it. You knew you're going to get damage no matter what. In every raid you go into, you know you're getting damage. But when you know you're getting instant damage, that there's no absolute way to mitigate it, you get frustrated as a player, be it a new player or an old player. But it's a psychological aspect to it that I think Kickseye overlook sometimes.
Right, and that's what the younger guys, more than us guys that have been around forever and don't mind spending a couple coin. But trying to hone a new player and telling them, well, you're just going to have to live with that. And, you know, they're looking at damage versus reward rather than us. We're looking at the prize at the end.
They'll just move to the next game.
What I don't understand is they come out with 4 great campaigns, thoroughly enjoyed them, got some new stuff, got some old stuff, plus, you know, add-ons to the old stuff. Last week was an absolute pleasure. And it was a pleasure.
Yeah, it was a good week.
Okay, but let me I just want to ask Jeff, was it a pleasure because you actually had the toys to do it? Because I mean, I had everything already, and I went through it just because I could, and it was fun because I had everything that I needed to hit them.
Yeah, but did you remember how to hit them, or was it, oh yeah, that's got to go that way, that's got to go that way, that's got to go that way? Which, in my thing is, I have to remember because I can't remember. If you get my meaning. So, you know.
Yeah, no, I had.
Go.
I was just going to say, I had to remember.
Yeah, exactly. And when it come back, it was like doing an old favourite. It was like watching a favourite cartoon. So you did them. You got your extra little bits. You got a few bits more, and that was good. All right. I had to coin a couple of fleets to keep up. I had no problem with that. But I worked it out on Mark's subs when he put in the new subs, the Hell Race. That if I put in a full set of Hell Race and come out that much damaged, I would have to sort of use, if I didn't have a, what they call it, a grease monkey, I was looking at 40 coins.
For a set,
Right.
yeah.
For a set. Now, if you work that out in maths, which I did, I sat down just aimlessly working out the maths for getting the amount. If the S targets are 4 million, right? You're not going to get change out of 500 coins. Probably even more. You're probably going to have to do more.
Well, if you're paying a few coin per mil, then it's bad ratio in my opinion.
What do I always say? It needs to be 1 to 1.5 coins per million points.
But the thing is in this raid, right? From what I'm seeing, the way it's designed, if you spend half an hour to do an A set, or even longer potentially, maybe 50 minutes doing an A set, and you're going to get 2.5 million, but you're going to take very minimal damage, or you can go in gun blazing, pay more, but not spend 4 days doing the raid. You know, I mean, it's basically we're at a stage now where Kickstarter have worked out a way to say, look, you're taking damage either way. It's unavoidable. You do this fast, and you're going to pay for it, and you do it slow, and you're gonna pay for it, but not pay as much. And I think that's where it is now. And it's kind of, for me, I don't have the free. I work 7 days a week. I cannot sit in my computer for longer than a few hours a day because I just don't have the time to do that. So if it's a raid where I have to make that decision, for me, I'm always going to make the decision to do it fast.
And it's a finite line to where you keep and lose players as to where your time investment or your money investment is giving you the rewards. And I think that that with that line, you know, there's an acceptable level for everybody. Us top end players are, no matter, we're gonna succeed at it. But the mid and the low level players that the game needs desperately at this point have to meet that finite line.
Interestingly, did anyone get the survey come up this week?
No.
I did. I had the survey, so I was wondering if it was being sent around again. I had the rate 1 out of 10 and then leave a little paragraph as to how you feel about the state of the game. I had that.
No, I didn't have that one. No. I don't even pop up as you go in.
I had that on Wednesday, Thursday.
No, I think I got it 2 weeks ago, but not this week.
If I can touch on what Hall and George making some nice points about psychology and the effects on the lower players, the guaranteed damage, plasma, the mortars, the lack of counterplay, you are going to take damage no matter what, and making it bad for more ships. Like, all of these are bad, but even for me, I'm a little biased because I still have one Hellwraith locked up, but I only have one ship. And if you're going to tell me that I have to do perfect driving for 10-minute chunks at a time and still take a bunch of damage that I can't avoid and go back and get a crappy payout for the A's, and I'm not even going to touch the S's, I'm not going to do this raid. I'm just not. I don't like feeling, I guess, helpless to all this damage, and even when building proper and driving proper, there's still a lot of damage you take, and the ratio of money to points, or time to points, is not in line with what was previously done. I will go and play other games. There's no point for me.
Yeah, Brian touches on a really good point. Is that even if you drive perfectly, you have to drive perfectly for 10-minute chunks at a time, 3 times to finish one A set, at least, and you still get all that damage. It's not like you're coming out of it with no damage, having spent an hour on the A set. You're still coming out with an hour and a half of damage.
This is not a raid where you can go in where you're not alert and you're not on your game, because sometimes it's like sometimes you're like, right, I'm going to sit up here, I'm going to do the chair time, and some of that chair time you're dog damn tired. You're going, I want it, I need it, I'm going to do these sets, I'm going to do it over and over again.
You can zone out.
And you're going to go into zombie mode and go again, rinse, wash, again, rinse, wash, again. You daren't do that. You daren't do that.
Do you know what I found mind-numbingly boring as well? Was driving around those fucking circles. Like, do you know what? This isn't even fun. I'm meant to be like having shit warfare here, and I'm driving around these fictitious fucking circles.
And you can't go through them. You can't go through them because you rise.
You can just get inside, you stay in a corner, and you wait. When there are 6 minutes left, all those cycles left, so they fade away, and then just rush.
You
can't do that in an S set, mate. You can't do that in an S set because those missiles will come in and slam you 4 times by then, and you're dead.
For me, it would be cool.
But he has to go crawler, so he's not going to do surface ever.
Or if you're like me and you suck, and you're like you drive in, and all the mortars landed. I'm going fine. And you did not pay attention.
I mean, that was my clear point. So my point in the forum, in the feedback, what I did was basically said, for example, the ES set target. As soon as you went in, obviously the mortars go off after about 6 seconds. Okay, so then they rise up in the air, they form the cav pools. Before that has even happened, the rockets are up in the air, the missiles, rocket vertical, and they've got plasma damage and they've got explosive damage. By the time you've let those cav pools form, your subs have then just started to rise. That's the normal format. That's what happens. So instantly then, and you'll notice it in the stream that I did, those missiles are inbound and they're hitting your ships. So before I even managed to engage one target, one of my subs is already dead.
Right.
Yeah, but what worries me more about this, how many times, because they have removed the retreat button. There is no retreat button in this raid, or it seems, for what we saw. How many times you don't jump into the target and suddenly it's all black water, or you don't see anything at all, and you want to retreat to refresh your browser and get back in? You don't have that chance this time.
Yeah, there's no refresh. Yeah, got you. Yeah, so if you have got a bit of lag, or if you are in the wrong place, or sometimes, as Liam actually mentioned before, the cav pools seem to surround everything. And you've got to wait till the 6-minute point where all those cav pools disappeared. In that top level target, you're going to get smashed to pieces.
Yes.
I'm wondering if this is their way of getting rid of us coming up with patterns on targets with the randomness of the drops of the mortars and the cavitator fields and all that.
I'll be a bit charitable and say it's made to create an engaging end-user experience.
I think kids are overestimating the fun value of the driving around circles. I think they're overestimating the fun value as to how much of a skill or a talent that is. I mean, it's just a bloody orange circle. I mean, in real life terms, would there be this magic orange circle that would make your subs visible? No, there wouldn't. At least make it interesting, make it fire or something. Make it a ring of fire. That would be more interesting than just this random orange ring. It's just for me. It just seems it's just not fun. I would rather, believe it or not, be hitting Scourge.
Yeah.
Right.
But what annoys me as well is that they've come out with a weapon that we have no knowledge of. And we cannot defend against it.
And really strong feedback from someone.
And we haven't got it. If they were to use the weapons on us, what they've got, I'd have no problem. But they don't. They come out with a magical mystery weapon, which is totally unattainable for us.
Well, let's be honest. Okay, we'll just say quickly, right? The plasma damage is a fictitious name. Okay, it's not a weapon type. It's just a name given to the blanket damage we're now going to receive in the game from this point forward. That was discussed and that was announced that from this point forward, all targets will have a set amount of blanket damage. They've given it a name. We can't mitigate against it. They could have called it fairy dust. It wouldn't matter what it's called. The point is, it's a variable that they can adjust from 1 to 10 based on the targets that they're going to release.
It's
So
actually
it has always been that. It has been called radioactive in the past, then it was called corrosive, and now it's called plasma. But there has been always that damage there.
Well, can I have the missiles that float around for about 10 minutes?
No, not yet.
As long as they don't give us plasma resist, I don't want that, because then it's another damage type, and you got to keep building and refitting all your ships and readjusting for one damage type, and that's just no. We've had enough.
Yeah, we've got enough damage types, I think, to be honest.
Okay, well listen, I guess a lot of, we've had such a build up to this raid cycle. I can hear that feedback again, man.
Yeah, me too. Not quite sure it's...
It just sounds like...
I think it's what I'll...
I don't know where it's coming from. Okay,
Yep.
Yeah, so sorry, it's... we had 3 months in advance for this raid cycle, which is unprecedented from Kickside. They gave us such a huge amount of notice. They built up to this whole skirmishing, and they talked about subs, and they said, look, guys, you need subs. They were good in that regard. I mean, they could have just thrown this target at us, which they've done in the past, and no one would be ready. So I guess in some senses, we've got some stuff to be positive and thankful for, but on some other senses, I guess the community at the moment are kind of a little bit concerned about what's going to come. I mean, obviously the preview servers are subject to change. We could see a completely different target. They could change some variables. We just don't know. But at the moment, I think the message to Kicksai is that people are a bit concerned, and we want this raid to go right. We don't want the same shite that we had the first raid of the last cycle when everyone just blew up about it. Who just unmuted themselves and made the furry sound again?
Not me.
Someone's got. It sounds like a TV out of tune. Like the old school TVs. Shh, that kind of sound.
Should we just say we're doing an after show for a good half an hour? I'm not sure if you've got to shoot off, mate, but I'm happy to do it. I've got here it's 10 past the hour, so we'll go for 40 minutes, something like that, and we'll do a bit of an after show, and people can just chip in and talk freely then. And then are we going to leave the show midweek till Wednesday night because that's the update, or do you want to do it Tuesdays? Up to you.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I would prefer to be in line with the update. So I think we probably will push back to Wednesday this week, guys, just to be in line with it. Kicksai are a day behind. They're not doing their maintenance on Monday as well, so
it's a bank holiday, isn't it? Apparently,
bank holiday for the US. Damn you guys! Wish we had another bank holiday. Anyway, yeah. So is there anything else anyone wanted to add in before I end the broadcast? And then TSM, you're just going to do a hangout after the show. Is that what you mean?
Yeah.
Is there anything else you wanted to throw into this week's show? No? I mean, I know we did talk about, in the title to the show, it says the September work in progress. Me and TSM and the guys had a chat before the show, and we kind of felt that there was a lot to talk about in the WIP, and that on top of all the previous server stuff, it just would have been too much. So we're going to cover the work in progress with some slides on Wednesday's show. But other than that, guys, I mean, thanks to everyone that's come on the show tonight. You've all been absolutely fantastic. Thanks to everyone that's come out on their Saturday and watched us. You guys should be out partying, but appreciate that. And thanks to all the and thanks to all the support in this page as usual. So we will see you on Wednesday, guys. Have a good weekend.
Take care.
Take care.
Take care.